Hello folks, welcome to my channel Java Demystified by SSR. Here comes the question number 11. What is this keyword in Java? Explain this constructor. Let's demystify this particular question. Yeah. So there is a keyword in Java called this. Even if you have C++ knowledge, this is also a keyword in C++. In both the languages, the meaning is same. Yeah, what is this? This is a reference variable that refers to the current object. This is a reference variable that refers to the current object. That means whenever we use this in the programming, in the program, in particularly Java, it refers to the current object. Okay, since our question also has constructor, this constructor, so this constructor is this followed by the parenthesis. Of course, the parenthesis has no parameters here. We can have a parameterized this also. We have a this constructor also available, and whenever we are using this constructor, it should be always the first statement in that particular block. Usually we write this constructor in another constructor. Let's understand different usages of this in Java. So there are namely 6 usages. First, from the definition, it is used to refer to the current object instance variables. And this constructor is used to invoke the current class constructor. And this can also be used to invoke the current class method. This can be passed as an argument to a method and an argument to a constructor also. And finally, this can be used as a return statement. That means you can actually write a return space this. So these are all the use cases of this in Java. Let's understand with a program what is referring to a current object, how it is actually invoking a current class constructor, and if you understand current class constructor, you can easily understand invoking a current class method. And other use cases are straight away understandable because this can be passed as an argument to a method and can be passed as an argument to a constructor also. Right? So let's now actually go to the program. So here I have a program written to illustrate this keyword. So here, let me remove this annotation. Yeah. So I have a class student now. So far we are working with a person class, right? So now I just have changed to a student class, and student has a roll number and name. So roll number is integer and name is a string. And the student also has a static member called college, which is string type. Since it is static, we usually initialize because this value is going to be once per class, right? Only one value per the class actually, right? So that's why it is static. Then I have a setter method and a getter method. Usually what a setter method will do, it allows us to set the values. So here there are two values, roll number and name. So we are assigning actually roll number and name with the local variables roll number and name. Now I have a getter method. So where actually I am displaying all the information of the student, that is roll number, name and college. Right, this is my business class, and in order to make it executable, I have a main method. public static void main string array args. Here we are creating one student object which is referred by S1, and then we are actually setting the student by calling the setStud method, and then we are getting the details of the student using getStud method, right? So this program looks simple, right? So then what actually will be the outcome of this particular getStud, because this is something displaying to the monitor, and this is something called output, right? So when you execute this program, what will be the outcome? We expect the outcome should be the roll number should be 100, the name should be XYZ, and the college should be Harvard. So this is what we expect based on the prior knowledge that we are having. But let's see, let me save this. I'm saving this, and then I'm going back to my terminal. Yeah, so let me compile this. Java C student.java. When we compile, it compiles successfully. There is nothing problem actually. But see, when we run, what actually is happening? So what is our expectation? So there are two local variables, 100 and XYZ, which have been passed to set student, and these two values are getting assigned to the roll number and name of this particular student class. So these two are instance members, and we are actually assigning the values for these instance members. Okay, so we know the concept. So whenever this new student, the constructor is called, the constructor will construct the student object with their default values. Roll number will be 0 and name is null, and later when set student method is called, they will get allocated to 100 and XYZ. So that's what actually we understood based on our knowledge. But let's now see, when I run this Java space student, I am actually getting the outcome as 0 null Harvard, right? Instead of printing 100 XYZ and Harvard, it is printing me 0 and null. What is the problem actually? What is the problem with this particular code? So why we are not actually able to print 100 XYZ and Harvard? So that is something we have to understand. So far we have written some programs. For example, person, I have, if you see the person class here, I have name, age, etc. We are setting some values to name and age, and we are able to get them actually, right? So, but what is the problem here? What is the difference actually from previous programs to here? So if you understand the difference, so let me actually highlight this. See here, my local variable is roll number, and my other local variable is name, which are actually same as my instance members. Instance members and my local members are same. That means same name. Earlier I am using int some r, and here string some n, like that I am using, right? They are different. Now this case, both my instance members and my local members are same. So whenever I am assigning, I am doing like this: roll number equal to roll number and name equal to name. Okay, actually what we thought is this local roll number will get assigned to this particular instance roll number. This local name will get assigned to this particular instance roll number. Sorry, instance name. What actually happens is, you know, when a set stud method is called, you know what actually happens? A stack is going to get created. A stack frame is going to get created with roll number and name actually. So here this is for roll number and this is for name, right? Yeah, so what are the values that are passed? 100 and XYZ. So roll number will be 100 here, roll number will be 100, and here the name will be some XYZ, right? Yeah, I have written in a lowercase, no problem. Yeah. Now this roll number 100 and XYZ has to get assigned to this instance member as part of my bytecodes. But what actually happens, this 100 will get assigned to the same 100 because this is roll number. This XYZ is assigned to same XYZ. That means here the roll number local variable will get assigned to the local again. The name which is local will get assigned actually again to the local name. So this is actually called principle of locality reference, right? The local variables have precedence over here. Okay, so in this block, the local variables have the precedence. So roll number equal to roll number means the local variable actually is getting assigned to the same local variable, because principle of locality reference, local variables will override the implementation of or override the implementation of the instance members. So in a local block, local variables have their precedence, right? Why actually this roll number will get assigned to some instance member. So in earlier cases, I have some R over here, R I am assigning to roll number because this roll number is nowhere known to this particular block earlier. Okay, so that means the roll number in earlier case is not a local, but here the variable name itself is roll number and it's local. So local are getting assigned to the local members and your instance members are never getting assigned. Okay, so that's why when we see the outcome over here, we are actually getting this local information. So let me actually run and show you. So Java student, we are saying 0 null Harvard. So that means whenever student constructor construct the student object, it is constructing with the default values 0 null, right? So Harvard, however, is there in class area, which is getting printed. Okay, so in order to solve this kind of problem, that means whenever your instance members and your local members are same, whenever your instance members and local members are same, then you have to clearly say that this particular roll number belongs to this object. Okay, this particular roll number belongs to this class or current class object. This particular name belongs to or refers to this particular student class, or they belong to this particular object or the current class object. So how do you specify is, so with the help of this keyword. So now what you are doing is, in order to solve this issue, we are actually making this dot roll number. Now what happens, this dot roll number means, what is this? This is a reference variable which refers to current class object. So now what we are saying here is, by saying this roll number, the roll number now belongs to the current class object. The name belongs to this dot name means the name belongs to the current class object. So here roll number, which is a local variable, is getting now assigned to the roll number of the current class object. Here the name is getting assigned to the name of the current class object. So this is how this helps. So this refers to the current class object, and now you can clearly distinguish what is local member and what is instance member, right? So when local members and your instance members are same, so to distinguish, we have to use this. Whenever you use this with a particular variable, it says that variable belongs to the current class. Okay, the variable belongs to the current class object. Okay, so now if you do like this, then save this and go to terminal. Yeah, so let's compile this. JavaC student.java compiled successfully, and when we run Java space student, now actually we can see 100 XYZ Harvard. Okay, so this is the use of this keyword. Okay, so out of 6 use cases, the first one is this is used to refer to current class variables, right? So whenever you say this dot roll number, it is actually referring to the current class objects variables. Okay, so that's what actually happens. So this refers to the current class object. So this always referring to an object. Okay, this is always referring to an object. Okay, so that is the first thing that is done. And as part of this question, there is something called constructor. So whenever we say this followed by, whenever we say this followed by this parenthesis, so then actually this, it should be called as this constructor. Okay, so what is this constructor? We have to see. Okay, so in order to explain this constructor, so let me actually open up another program, or otherwise let me make this program shoot to this particular this constructor. So actually I'm clearing all these drawings here, and then yeah, so what I'm doing is, in order to make you to understand this constructor, I'm making few changes actually here. Okay, so now, so you know already a setter method can be eliminated with the help of a constructor. Okay, so now I am writing a constructor. Constructor will not have any return types, and this is up to you whether to give any visibility specifier. If at all you want to write, you can actually make public. So public student, and this constructor takes roll number and name as parameters, and these two are same as instance members. So in order to distinguish and in order to tell some of these members belongs to a current class, then you have to make use of this dot roll number. So we did this and we have understood. So whether it is a method or constructor, and whenever you have your local variables and instance members are same, and to refer to the instance member, you have to make use of this. So that we have understood actually, right? Now let me actually have so now I don't require this s1 dot student. This is not required because we have removed that, and we have a student. So whenever you say student s1 equal to new student, now your responsibility is to pass the arguments. Okay, so the arguments are 100 and xyz. Yeah, so get student method was there. This is fine. Now what actually can be done is, you can also have another constructor. Yeah, now I have a constructor called student. Okay, so in this constructor I have nothing much but one statement. Yeah, so one system.out.println statement I would like to write over there. So here, this system.out.println command C and then command V. Yeah. So here what I'm doing is just one statement I would like to write. Yeah, that is constructor invoked. Cons invoked. Okay. So now here I can say there is a constructor overloading that is happening in this particular program. There is a constructor overloading happening, right? Yeah. So I have a default constructor and I have a parameterized constructor over here. Right, then I have a getter method. Then in the main method I am creating, of course, only one student object which is referred by s1, and I am asking for s1.getStudent. Fine. Yeah, now the point here is, I can write something like this over here. This constructor. Okay, so whenever I write this constructor, so if you see here, this followed by parenthesis with no arguments, it refers to it refers to, what is this constructor will do? It refers to current class constructor. It refers to current class constructor. So do you have any constructor here in the current class which is default? Yes, I have a constructor. I have a current class constructor which is default. So now this constructor is referring to this particular constructor, the default constructor. So whenever you create an object saying a new student of 100 XYZ, it actually matches with the second constructor. And when the bytecodes of this constructor are getting executed and this constructor is encountered, and now it refers to the current class constructor, we have a default constructor that is available, and this is going to get executed. After that, the assignments, these two assignments will get takes place. So let's save this and see. Let me clear this once. Yeah, so compile Java C student.java, compiled successfully, there is no problem. And Java student. Yeah, what should be the output actually? You are creating one object. Whenever you are calling the student constructor, it is in turn calling this constructor that refers to the current class constructor of that kind, that is a default constructor, and it actually prints const invoked, and then s1.getStudent, and these details should come actually, right? So const invoked 100 XYZ Harvard. Okay, so this is how this constructor can be used. Okay, so whenever you are using this constructor, it must be the first statement actually. So this constructor here I am using, right? So this must be the first statement in this particular constructor. If at all you write this constructor somewhere after these two statements are in between, we are going to get a compile time error. The reason is, see, in a constructor, you are actually invoking the other constructor. That means there exists a constructor prior to this. So before constructing your constructor, the previous constructor has to be constructed. That means your current class constructor has to be constructed. If at all it is there, then your constructor. So that is the Java rule. Okay. So for example, if you have a parameterized constructor here somewhere, so then actually you can pass these parameters. You have to take these parameters over here and then you have to pass. So I will tell you that example actually. Okay, so for this constructor, you have to remember 2 points. This constructor refers to the current class constructor, right? So it may be a default or it may be parameter. And if at all you are writing this constructor, it must be the first statement of that particular block, right? Or that particular constructor or whatever the block where you are actually writing. Okay, otherwise it is going to give you the compile time error. Okay, so what is the use of this constructor? Okay, this is fine actually, it is invoking the current class constructor and all, but what is the use? So let's understand with an example which I am going to show you. Yeah, so let's go here and see this example. Yeah, otherwise I can actually make up, I have an example here written, otherwise I can also make up a good example. Yeah, let me explain this and then actually make up that particular example. So now for example, if you see here, I have a student ID, name and city, and I have a student constructor with 2 parameters. So this is because the variables are same, we have int ID, ID and name are same, so we are using this. Then I have a constructor with 3 parameters because this time I am constructing city also, right? So when I am constructing with the 3 parameters, what I am doing is, because I know there is a constructor that actually getting constructed with ID and name, so I just can refer to that constructor by this. And then the third constructor actually I am writing this dot city equal to city. Okay, so here you need not to assign all these things once again, right? So here in this example, I'm actually using only 3 parameters, but usually what happens is, for example, in a customer in a bank, so initially there was a constructor with some 10 attributes. Later, some 5 more attributes have come. So that means you have to write a constructor that takes 15 attributes, that means 15 variables, and you have to construct the object. So instead of writing all the 15 assignments, what you can do is, you know already that there is a constructor with 10 variables, you just invoke that, okay, just like this. This of those 10 you just pass. You need not to write all those assignments. So that's how this actually will help, okay. So now let me actually open up and let us make this code actually analogous to that. So now what we do is we have a city. We have city. So right, so city is a string. So and one student belongs to one city and other student belong to other city. So that's why this is an instance member, not a static member. Okay, so let us assume, yeah. So let us assume I don't have now. I'm actually removing this. Yeah, I have the initial constructor, which is actually constructing roll number and name only, right? Now I require another constructor that should construct roll number, name and city. So how we are going to do that? Yeah, so I have a student. Now I have to construct all the 3 members. So command C, and let's take these things over here. Then you have one more thing, that is a string city. Okay, so now here what you need to do is, you know that there is a constructor which is actually constructing both roll number and name, right? Just invoke that. And the new member that you need to construct is city, and your instance member and your local member are same. So that's why this dot city equals to city. Okay, that's it. So this is how this constructor will help. You need not to write everything once again. Okay, let's save this and let's run. Yeah, Java C student.java compiled successfully, and before that, yeah, so I need to have a constructor which is actually taking 3 parameters, right? So 3 parameters. Now I am saying the city is NY. Okay, so the city name is NY. Yeah. So now what happens whenever student S1 equal to new student and you are passing 3 parameters, it matches actually the second constructor. In the second constructor, all the 3 members, these actual parameters will get assigned to the formal parameters, and this roll number and name, this 100 and XYZ will be given here, and we have a statement this, and this will invoke now this particular constructor where 2 parameters are there, and these two values will get constructed, and city will get constructed in this particular constructors. Okay, when this constructor is invoked and the first statement is invoking invoking the current class constructor with 2 parameters. Okay, this is what actually happens, and when you run this, yeah, so compile it again, and when you run, you will see the details as 100 XYZ Harvard. We are not getting printed with city. The reason is we have not printed in the get student. So what we need to do is you just add plus and give some space and then say city, right? That's how you have to do. So save it again, go back to my terminal. Yeah, so clear everything, compile, then run. Yeah, so now you can actually see the city New York also, right? So 100 XYZ Harvard and NY. So this is about this keyword. So this refers to the current class object. It refers to object only. That means this exists in object. This does not exist in static context. And what is this constructor? So this constructor refers to the current class constructor. So it can be a default constructor or a parameterized constructor. Apart from this, this also has several use cases or several usages in Java. So this can be used to invoke a method of a current class, and this can be passed as an argument to a method and constructor, and this can be used in return statement. Okay, somebody can write return this. Okay, so hope you understood uh, in detail about this keyword in Java, and we will see a few more questions related to this separately. So stay tuned for those questions. If you like this video, please share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching.